Are you tired losing to drive a car on Totenreich? Well, you're at the right place. I'll be giving you guys the best strategies, tips, and boss fight tips for Totenreich. Now, I'm going on assumption that you know the quest. Now, this is going to be just a normal quest video. I'll be showing you guys the best augments, weapons, wall-by weapons, and how you can easily beat them in cursed and standard. Okay, first off, I'll start off with the classes, augments, field upgrades, and gobblegums, but I'll have timestamps down below so you can skip to wherever you want to. Now, as you can see on your screen right now, this will be your base weapon on the map, the XR3 Ion. It's the best cursed box weapon, and it's just the best weapon even if you start with it in standard. Now, my next weapon recommendation will be the Shadow SK. This is a wall-by weapon, and with the Shadow Master Key attachment on the bottom of the weapon, it becomes insane in the boss fight to killing those heads in the boss fight. It does insane damage and will be probably your second best weapon to use on the map. It's also a wall buy, so you can buy it off the wall and get it on a higher rarity, saving some salvage. Now, the next weapon I'm going to recommend is the Coda pistol. Now, the Coda pistol is insanely strong if you put on the stock attachment. This thing changes it that when you ADS, it will one-shot zombies and do insane damage to the head. It's also off the wall, right in spawn, and it's probably the best weapon, and you put on the monolithic suppressor to farm salvage easier. Now let me give you some class recommendations, starting with the tactical. Decoys is still your best bet, and for lethals you can use the combat axe. That works fine. You can use the Molotov, which is great in the boss fight, fire. It melts the boxes, anything frozen over. Something else I would recommend is C4. That's quite a speedrunning strat, but I wouldn't go into that. For field upgrades though, I would highly recommend Ether Shroud if you're struggling a bit, but otherwise, Wildfire is so good on this map. Perfect for this map. You don't freeze over, and the boost of speed boost that you gain is super insane. And also you can kill the bear faster with the Fireball augment attached to it. Next, I would recommend Frenzy Guard for the boss fight, 100%. Frenzy Guard with the right augments is probably the best field upgrade on the map. Now next, let's cover some gobblegum recommendations. Aftertaste is really great, obviously. Killjoy, Temporal Gift, and Shields Up. I would say those are critical, especially for going down when you use a self-revive kit with Aftertaste. Shields Up is good for the boss fight because you're always lacking extra shields. Another one I would recommend is Dead Drop. Dead Drop just helps gain you more salvage if you want to use and get more salvage. Otherwise, in the legendaries, Wall Power is great to buy the first pap off the wall when you buy the wall weapon, especially the Shadow SK. Phoenix Up is great for when running with teammates. Armageddon for skipping down to 3 plates. Obviously, always your Ultras, Perkaholic, Wonderbark if got anything like that. But my next tip with this Crush section, gobblegum, that's really important, gets you a nice little head start. Now, why I would say it gives you a little head start is you can use all the fodder gobblegums that you don't want to use. Now, legendaries when Crush give you 2,500 points. Now, there's loads that are useless in my opinion, or you don't use as often, or you have loads of them. Now, like in my case here, I have wall to wall, which in Baker's sense is it costs 10 essence to buy a wall weapon, which is quite redundant in my point. As you can see, I have 14 crate powers, a few round-offs, a support group, which is a useless one in my opinion, and on the house. Now, you don't always have to do this, but it's a nice head start you can do to get yourself up and running on the map and open most of the doors, if you want to go with this option. Now, let's talk augment recommendations, starting with stamina. Guns Up is probably the best one for stamina up, so you can hip fire in the boss and sprint while moving. Next up, let's go to Quick Revive. Quick Revive, I recommend Equivalent Exchange. Probably the best, especially if you have the Coda, any ray gun or 1911, so you can pick yourself up 3 times. And it's just a really useful thing, especially playing solo. Next up, Juggernaut. Now, Juggernaut, anything is useful here. Turtle Shell is super great. I've used it. Iron Core can be very well. It makes you get more health. But otherwise, I recommend harder plates and durable plates, in my opinion. For Melee Macchiato, Espresso is the best. The Wonder Weapon is too slow. With this, it makes the Wonder Weapon and Melee Macchiato just work so great together. For Speed Cola, there's nothing really. For Vulture, this one, Armormatic, is the best by far. Helps in the boss fight. You don't have to manually put on armor plates, and you can just concentrate on avoiding zombies, killing zombies, or hurting the boss in the boss fight. Meal Kick, I really recommend you put on multi-pack. It helps you set up faster, and you can get multiple guns packed at a certain level. Otherwise, fully equipped and kickback, especially getting discount on those perks and getting more Casimirs, which is great for the boss fight with fully equipped on as well. Next, let's look at Deadshot, Deadhead, Deadbreak, and Dead Draw is your best ones. Double Tap, the usual double impact, double or nothing, and double time. And Wisty, I really recommend Mask of Benevolence, as she can heal you, and that's just the best as you put on Extension and Haste, and you just get those heals and you don't have to worry. If we go to ammo mods, I think the only one I really recommend is Brain Rot. It's Caustic Fumes, so when you can put on your pistol or something, you put on Caustic Fumes, turn zombies and help kill zombies more. Frenzy Guard, Frenzy Fight, obviously for the boss fight, like I said, the best for that case as well. And then for Fireball here with Wildfire, that's really great. Heat Surge for that sprint boost I told you about. If you want to go faster through the map, or you're trying to do some speed runs, anything like that, I just find that the best augment on Wildfire. And especially the parts that you don't get frozen over. As you'll see, I like to start playing the game with Wildfire. Run around faster, I don't get frozen over, and I can kill the bear a lot faster. I especially save it for the bear. Bonus tip real quick there. Now let's start off with tip number 1. In spawn, you can find the coda. Now if you use the class setup, you can see I have the monolithic suppressor on and that stock attachment that makes the headshots go crazy. Now for standard, you want to concentrate on headshots and farming salvage, and that's the best way to do it in standard. In cursed, obviously you want to try and find the razor or a Kitas to farm up points. Make sure you got a suppressor on it for salvage, but in standard you can just concentrate on headshots and try and get salvage and maximize your points in the start game. And just continue getting headshots. As you can see as well, the coda does 618 damage. I think unpapped green, this will be doing one shot to the zombies until I want to say round 7. I can't remember the zombie health at round 7 exactly, and it's still insane and should carry you through the start game, especially in standard. Now back to that little bonus tip I was going to show you guys with crushing my legendary gobblegums. Now I'm going to go ahead and just crush 5 of them to show you how I gain a whopping 12,500 salvage in the start game. Now that's only going to help you set up the map, okay? You'll open most of the doors and probably you'll be able to buy one perk. Juggernaut, even if you will, buy Juggernaut, make sure you're safe and secure. It opens the map, and then any points you'll be earning from killing zombies will go towards you buying perks or pack a punch in your weapon. And that's just a great strat for the start game. And it isn't that bad, especially if you don't care about the gobblegums. You get free points, you get loads of points, and you can open the map and go ahead and carry the rest of the game. You see I switch over to my blue gobblegum, as I'll just be using the default blues for the rest of the game. Okay, tip number 2. So now you've opened the map, you turned on power, and now you're at the part where you drop down and you need to pick up the admin keycard. Now what you can start doing is looking for this little piece of paper, the first location being here in Dry Dock. Now this paper will tell you exactly about those boxes that have the bullet inside. Now this one says disperse gas. Now I'll show you exactly the manifest that correlates with each paper and what box you'll be getting. Now if the paper reads something like I couldn't tamper, disperse gas, you can see it correlates with a certain box, and the boxes goes from V7, 36, etc. Another location for it will be right here next to Tier's foot, next to this guy laying down right here. Now let me quickly show you some of the locations. The first one's here in the War Factory right here. The next location is in Core Foundry at the bottom of the staircase right here. And in Dry Dock at the bottom of the boat in this corner is another box location right here. And another location is here at Fjord Road in this corner right here. And as my box said, it was disperse gas, so it was 36. Quick little bonus tip is to put in the chains on a round flip so no zombies can bother you and you don't pick up an unnecessary down. Another quick little tip is to go buy a meal kick as fast as possible so you can use those discounts on perks to the max, save more points, and also when pack-a-punching weapons you get a chance to pack-a-punch other weapons. Okay, tip number 3 is when you're doing those coordinates for tier, what is misunderstood is when you've done the first coordinate, you can actually just wait ahead for a purple-eyed necropincer to spawn in and just kill him. When you've killed him, you'll be able to interact again and set in your second code of coordinates and save loads of time. Okay, tip number 4, and this works best in standard but can work in cursed, is when you're looking for the Ravager step. You can just go ahead, open your map and pin him and go to his location, kill him and repeat the process. In cursed, you will have to find him for a first time, but you can still go ahead and pin him and find him the second and third time faster. So as you see, I'm running to the second location right now and I'm gonna go and kill him. And then I will go to the third location, kill him and pick up the uranium. Tip number 5 will be the Glock drop. Now, the best I found it is to use an insta-kill for the Glock drop. It's quite a challenging step and most people fail on it because the zombies do loads of damage on you while you're trying to concentrate on those zombies floating, and it's harder to hit headshots and kill them fast as possible. So go ahead, use the free power-up spawn of the insta-kill or just pop an insta-kill and you should be doing it a lot easier. Okay, and next, let's talk about the Shadow SK wallby location. Now, you can do this in standard or cursed, and especially in cursed if you aren't bothered for spinning the box 300 million years to find out the XR3 out of the box, you can just go ahead and buy the Shadow SK off the wall. Obviously, wait until it's as high a rarity as possible so you can save loads of salvage. Okay, tip number 6 is with the claw machine, and now I'm going to show you to never fail it again. Now, the strategy is actually simple. All you have to do is build one Connect 7, like in this footage right here, and then you can go ahead and connect the other 2 anywhere, not connecting to the regional 7, and you'll never ever fail the step again, having to flip around. As long as you always connect 7 and connect the other 2 without connecting to the regional 7, you will always succeed in this step. Okay, a little bonus tip for maximizing your points. When you bring the uranium over to tier, you can wait until you use for this double points until this step. You can go ahead, get it, maybe use a temporal gift, and then go ahead and finish the whole round. I think in this game my points went from 11,000 till 26,000, and it's just the best way to maximize your points and get through the upgrading process, especially pack-a-punching your weapons really fast, and instead of wasting those double points early on in your game. Also, when you're done doing that, don't forget to go pick up Dravicar Shard. Okay, next step. Now when you're on the lockdown step, after setting up that fire and using disciple ejection, you will fight a necropincer that is way more beefier. Now as you can see, I'm using the Shadow Master Key attachment here, but it's only blue pack 1, and I even used Tesla Storm, I used a Casimir, and you can see he is tanking loads. So insta kills are great for this. Pack-a-punching your weapon maybe once more. As you can see, I'm sitting on loads of points. I went in here not prepared as I should be, but that's also a great tip usually for this. Okay, now the reason you're probably here is the boss fight. Now, one of the first things I recommend is that your wonder weapon should be PAP 2, especially going into the 20s into this boss fight. You'll be one-shotting most of the zombies and it helps just loads. You bring in your PAP 3 Shadow SK or XR3 Ion, it's the 2 best boss weapons. The Voyak Novaline and the AK are still great weapons, but those 2 are your best weapons in general. The Brain Rot on your pistol is great to help with the zombies. Casimirs are great, and then Molotovs and Frags is the best while your field upgrade is charged as well. Now let's talk boss fight tips. Now as I said, Brain Rot on your pistol is great, so you can turn zombies with acoustic fumes and concentrate on shooting the boss like this, or Casimirs will do the job as well, perfectly fine if needed. Next, when the Glock drop comes in from tier, you want to keep your eye out for the war machine, especially as that will make the idle heads that the boss spawn very, very simple. Now for the idle heads, you want to come down to the side here and not stand in the middle, because the ice will spawn and flip you up. Now this is where you want to get your war machine ready, or your molotovs or frags, and you just want to aim for its mouth instead of using the wonder weapon. Also, if you went with the Shadow Master Key, you'll see it does loads of damage if you used underbarrel attachment. As you'll see here, melting it right now is the gameplay. So you just take out the Molotov, aim for the mouth, it will insta knock it down, and the Shadow SK will do loads of work to it. Now it's probably my number one tip for the boss fight, is when Dravakar comes back to the boss fight, I want you to go to the sides and bait out its wipe attack whilst clearing these zombies, because we want to go to the middle and fight the boss heads on, and I'll show you exactly why. Everyone is hiding behind the pillars, and actually that's not the best strategy, because the rocks will still attack you and you will get it down. What you want to do is you want to be confident, and you want to come to the middle and shoot its crit spot. As you can see right now, the Shadow SK is doing wonders of damage. Now you'll see it'll throw different rock attacks at you, like this specific arrow attack. It goes to you, you just want to dodge it front and forward. For the lower one, you just want to lay on the ground. The H scatter attack, really you just want to go to the sides, avoid where it's going to be. So yeah, I just avoid the H completely. And with the V's, it's a simple strafe. It's probably the easiest one to dodge in my honest opinion. So I'll keep going through this and show you my thought process. So he's going to wipe out the middle, I go to the next side, and I just concentrate on the crit spot whilst waiting for him to do his next attack. So as I'm waiting, I'm just doing loads of damage, continuing my damage, and just waiting to see what attack he's going to do next. So I see it's the S's, it's simply the same, you just have to strafe it, the V's you strafing. And as you can see, I'm behind a pillar right now, but that's with knowledge, knowing that what attacks can hit me and not. Like the scatter H will definitely hit you behind the rocks. The low attack, you're already lower than it, so you can just stay in the cover. But the H attack, 100% the rocks don't save you. Now here you can see he's doing a third wipe, okay? Now that's where you just want to go back to the middle, open the Flammenfall, buy ammo if you need to, like I did in this gameplay, and you'll just stick onto the Flammenfall so you don't freeze over, because the frost does loads of damage, by the way. As you can see here, this is a bit of a tighter strafe. I actually misplayed it myself here, but it just shows that you can just fight the boss confidently, stay in the middle, and just avoid every attack as you should, and just read the pattern and dodge it accordingly. Now it's phase 3. Now phase 3 is scary because you get shut down into the walls, and then cursed zombies will be spawning here. So in cursed, you'll definitely want to keep Casmius for this phase, and probably pop your shields up, but also have your frenzy charged. Now the death machine does decent damage, as you can see here, but all you want to do is just, if you fight the boss confidently in the previous phases, you already know these patterns, and you can just go ahead and do damage to it. Shoot its face, continue damaging, see what it is. Even like this, take your time, make sure you're dodging it effectively. Pop your frenzy guard whenever you're ready, and just unload into the boss's phase, and you should be able to complete this quite easily. In Cursed, it is a bit more hectic, that's why I recommend the Casmius. You do get a max ammo, and just go ahead and throw your Casmius and you should be able to do it. I think I have gameplay on my YouTube channel showcasing it as well, if you want to go have a look and see. I've done it a few times and it's not that bad. And there you go, you should have beaten Dravakar quite easily, and you should never fail it again. Now please, if you don't mind, can you please subscribe and give me a like. Until next time, bye bye.